Hey everyone, it's SG Holyman, and welcome to my 2016 Game of the Year discussion video. In this video, I'm going to talk about the games that I felt were the best of the best to come out this year, and individually go through each one, and just talk about why I felt they were the best games to come out this year. As a quick side note, I do usually try and use gameplay from one of the games I'm going to talk about in this video, but I'm using Final Fantasy 15 footage because I'm really enjoying the game. And I haven't beaten it yet, but like I said, I'm really enjoying it, and later on I might put it on this list. I'll talk about what that means a little bit later. But so far, I'm 22 hours into the game, and I'm still on Chapter 3. I've been doing all the I've been playing it like I play all RPGs, which is to do all the side stuff before I go on with the main stuff. So that's what's going on, and so yeah, that's why I'm using Final Fantasy 15 footage. So for those of you who don't know how I usually do this, I'm going to talk about the game I played the most and the game I had the most fun with first, before I talk about my Game of the Year list. The reason why I do this is because I believe that just because you put a lot of hours into a game, or just because you had the most fun with the game, doesn't necessarily mean that's the Game of the Year. The best example I can come up with was in 2013, The Last of Us came out, and I did replay it for the channel, plug, and sorry, and I mean, that game is fun, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that game was the most fun game you can play, if that makes sense. But that game is still a masterpiece, in my opinion, and it is a game that should be played, and I do think it is the best game to come out of 2013. So that's why I kind of come up with those categories, so I can kind of differentiate. Sorry, I'm tripping up on my words, but that's why I do that, basically. Before I get into that, I kind of want to talk about 2016 a little bit. 2016 as a whole was interesting. I don't think it's one of the better years, but I wouldn't say it's a bad year. There was a lot of great games to come out this year, and it was spread across a bunch of different genres. The first-person shooter genre had some amazing campaigns this year. It was actually a great year for first-person shooters. But 2015 was actually a way better year, mainly because we had a lot of heavy hitters come out. And on top of that, there was also just a bunch of great indies to come out too. So, I don't know, I just feel like 2015 was better. If it's any consolation, though, I do think 2016 was better than 2014. So, I don't know, there's that. But, yeah, that's just kind of my quick thoughts on 2016. So, now I'll get into the games that I played the most and the game I had the most fun with. So, some of you may not like this, but I'm going to have to do what I did last year for games I played the most, and that is to hold off on actually telling you what that is until a couple weeks later when I've caught up on some of the games. But what happened last year was there was a lot of open world games in general, and I hadn't played through 2 or 3 of them to completion, so I wanted to give them their time and just see where the game clock was at the end of them, and then tell you. This year it's a little different. I didn't really play any one like 80-hour experience, but there was a lot of 20 to 40-ish hour games, and also I'm playing through a couple pretty meaty JRPGs right now. Final Fantasy 15 is one of them, and I feel like those are going to take the longest out of the games this year. So that's why I'm holding off. Sorry. Uh, but if you're wanting to know right now, um, let me think. Oh God, excuse me. Um, it might be The Witness up to this point that I put the most hours in, because I feel like I put at least 40-ish hours. That feels about right. 40 hours into The Witness. And then some of you might call this a cop out, but The Witness is one of those puzzle games where uh, you can be playing the game and you're solving puzzles, but then after a point, you'll stop playing the game, but you'll still be thinking about the puzzles and trying to work them out in your head. And to me, that might be considered still playing the game, kind of. So I feel like with all of that time on top of the actual game clock, sorry for that, um, that that might be it. I know I put like 45-ish hours into Final Fantasy VII, but that game didn't come out this year. So, uh, tentatively, it might be The Witness. I'd have to go check that game clock again. But, uh, yeah, I don't know. And then, as far as the game I had the most fun with this year, it's actually a two-way tie. Um, I enjoyed these games equally, even though they're both radically different games. Uh, so really, it's 1A, 1B for me. But uh, the games I had the most fun with was Dishonored 2 and Doom. Uh, I won't spend a lot of time talking about those games here, but Dishonored 2, super fun. A lot of different ways to play that game. Doom, uh, the core gameplay is just excellent, and that game is just a lot of fun to play. So, yeah, I think that's where I'll end that discussion for now. And yeah, that's it for those two sections. Now I'll get into my actual Game of the Year list. So it's actually time for me to get into my Game of the Year. I'll start off with my honorable mentions. Keep in mind that all the games I'm going to talk about are amazing games, and they are definitely worth looking into if you have not played them yet. And also keep in mind that this list is alphabetical order. So, once again, starting with honorable mentions, I'll start off with Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1, I did a review on, and I'll leave a link in the description, and also I'll put the video card in the end card thing. I don't know. I've been doing this for a while, so you can maybe hear my voice starting to get a little raspy, I guess. But sorry. Anyway, Battlefield 1. Amazing campaign. Did a really good job of showing the horrors of World War One. Solid gameplay mechanics. And also, the multiplayer is really fun. It's my favorite multiplayer game of the year. And, yeah, I don't know. I think that's really all I can say about Battlefield 1 at the moment. I'm forgetting a lot. But anyway, I'll move on to the next game in the honorable mentions, which is Doom. Doom is super fun. It's very angry and in your face. And, sorry, I don't know. It's just the core gameplay is excellent. And from the moment you start up the game, you know why you're there. You're there to just shoot a bunch of cool looking guns at some demons on Mars and to just cause a big bloody mess. And it's brilliant. And there is actually a pretty decent story going on. But if you don't want to pay attention to the story, then you don't have to. Even Doom Guy will show you that sometimes he just doesn't care about the story and wants to move on. So, oh God, excuse me. Yeah. Uh, and like I said, the core shooting is awesome. It's very old school, no reloading. Uh, and there's health pickups and armor pickups. And I don't know, it was just really fun. It's a solid core. And the multiplayer is decent. It's not the best, but still fun to play around with for a few hours. And yeah, I think that's really all I got to say about Doom. And then the final one on my list is Ratchet and Clank, and it kind of hurts me to put Ratchet and Clank in the honorable mentions, but I have a top five list, and Ratchet and Clank would be six. Uh, Ratchet and Clank, once again, another return to form. Uh, Insomniac did a great job of bringing that series back to its roots, basically, and a lot of fun imaginative weapons. There's the new weapons, and then there's a bunch of returning classics. Um, Also, the game is absolutely gorgeous. I know a lot of games have said that their game is like playing a Pixar quality movie game. I don't know. I'm just saying words now. But like this is really the first game in my mind that's actually delivered on that promise. And also the game's just really fun to play. Solid platforming. And sorry. Yeah. If you haven't picked up Ratchet and Clank yet, I would highly, highly recommend doing that. Also, it was launched at $40 instead of $60, and that was an absolute steal. So, sorry, yeah, I'd imagine it's still $40. So if you haven't tried it yet, I would highly recommend picking up Ratchet and Clank. So I know that the honorable mentions weren't probably the best take I could have done, but my voice is actually starting to give out, and I've been at this for a while. So I'm gonna try my best for this next section, but yeah, we're gonna see what happens. So sorry if this isn't the highest quality commentary you're gonna hear, but bear with me, please. Anyway, I'll get into the top five games. Well, now, again, all in alphabetical order. So I'll start with Dishonored 2. Dishonored 2, really, really fun game to play. I played as Emily. I haven't played as Corvo yet, but yeah, I played as Emily. Her powers are cool and interesting. And you can do a lot of awesome combinations with those powers. Uh, and then the way that you can use the powers to either, uh, well, basically you can play the game any way you want. You can be stealthy, you can be non-stealthy, you can kill nobody, you can kill everybody. And the game world is just one big playground that really allows you to just explore and to just watch the enemy patterns and to just really be one giant sandbox to go and complete your mission. And also, I think I like the story a little bit better in Dishonored 2. Sorry. Well, I don't know. I feel like they did a better job with integrating the lore of the actual world into the story a bit better. Because in the first one and even in the second one, a lot of the lore is in books that you can find and all that. Whereas in the second one, I feel like they did a better job of integrating it into conversations. So I just feel like I had a better grasp on the world in the second one. And also there was just a lot of gameplay tweaks that they did that I feel like really improved the experience over the first Dishonored. Like, for instance, being able to knock out guards during combat instead of, like, basically in the first game, if you got into combat, you had to kill your opponent. In this one, you actually have the option to knock them out. So I just thought that was a really nice touch. And there's just a lot of small little things like that that really improved uh, Dishonored 2 over Dishonored. Uh, so, the next game on my list is Inside. Inside is an amazing, amazing puzzle platformer. Everything in that game is done with purpose, and everything is meticulously designed to be absolutely flawless. And I don't know, it's just one of the best puzzle platforming games I've played in a while. Um, Now, while I do feel like Playdead's first game, Limbo, had the better ending, I feel like Inside is just the better game. And, sorry. Also, it's just really cool how Playdead was able to tell a story with Inside without any words. So, I don't know. That game's awesome. I don't want to talk much more about it because I don't want to give anything away. So I'll just move on to the next game, which I'm so happy to say this is Pokemon Sun. Um, I love the Pokemon games, but this one just did a lot of changes to the formula that are very welcome. I'm so glad they got rid of HMs and now you can just call your ride Pokemon. It's so nice. I like what they did with the trials and the island kahunas. And I don't know, I just love being in that world. It's another game I'm not all the way through, and I'm going to play it over the time I've taken a break. So, uh, but yeah, Pokemon Sun is definitely one of the best handheld games of the year. I think it's the perfect swan song for the 3DS. And yeah, that game's just excellent. And if you're a fan of Pokemon and you haven't picked this up yet, I really, really recommend picking up Pokemon Sun or Moon because they just did a lot of they just changed a lot of things and it really makes the game feel fresh. Sorry. Wow. Anyway, moving on. Fourth game on the list is The Witness. The Witness is a masterpiece puzzle game. If you have played, what's that game? Crap, I forgot. Anyway, you're just on an island, and there's just a lot of puzzles, a lot of line puzzles. Missed. Sorry, that was the game I was thinking of. But yeah, you're on an island by yourself, no enemies, just puzzles everywhere. You gotta go solve them, and that game is, that game is just so well put together. Also, the art style is awesome. There's absolutely no textures in the game, but everything's so colorful that it makes up for it. Um, and I know a lot of people have already said this about the game, but going through the puzzles and all the challenges really does feel like learning a second language. And all the puzzles build on each other, and it's really well put together, and it's almost flawless in terms of puzzle design. And also there's a bunch of like environmental puzzles. So I don't know, it's just a really, really neat game. And I know The Witness isn't for everyone, but if you're even remotely interested and you just want something to play, I highly recommend playing The Witness. And finally, the last game on my list is Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4, beautiful game, and it's the perfect ending to one of PlayStation's greatest franchises for now. Won't spoil anything, but they did. I don't want to say anything, but Sony might want to bring back Uncharted 4 later. This is what I'm saying, but for now, it's going to go on hiatus probably for 10 plus years, which is fine with me because this is the absolute best way you could send off the series. And I don't know. the story, the performances from all the actors was just top notch. It's probably the best I've seen in a video game to date, which is awesome. And yeah, so like I said, the game is beautiful. I do feel like it's not once again, it's not the most fun game to play. I'm glad they added the stealth element to the game, kind of added a freshness to it, but I don't think it's even I don't feel like the gameplay is the best in the series. I feel like 2 takes that edge for me, but overall, I feel like Uncharted 4 is a near perfect experience with some pacing issues here and there, but still a really, really solid game. Oh man, I did it. Wow. Anyway, I feel like that's a good place to end this video. This video is going to come out Thursday, I believe. Let's see here, it's Wednesday, so tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to try and upload this video tomorrow. And if you've stuck around this long, first off, thank you. Thank you for putting up with my voice giving out. But, dang it. Later on tonight, I guess, when this posts, me and my friends, we're going to play some Battlefield 1. And I feel like that's the perfect way to end the year for my channel. And I'm going to take a 2-week break to kind of recharge the batteries and also play through some games that I may have missed, because I'm going to officially announce my game of the year, in quotes, in a separate video, like I said, in 2 weeks. And so the list I just gave may change, may not. We'll see. And yeah, that's the plan. So I'll be back in 2 weeks. And then I think, yeah, the Let's Plays are going to come back a little later than that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just rambling at this point now. So I'll end this video. Like I said, sorry, the program cut out the last bit there, but like I said, if I did a review or a Let's Play of any of these games, I'll include a link in the description below, so you can go check those out if you're interested. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you liked what you've seen, you can go ahead and like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more game reviews, vlogs, Let's Plays, streams, and all that good gaming stuff. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.